Hello, I'm SammyP. Welcome to episode 26 of my Let's Voice series for Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. This is the series where I use the excuse of practicing my voice acting to justify playing video games. And if you're watching and you enjoy the video, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. It's fantastic ways to help the channel. If you do subscribe, if you click the little bell, it will send you a notification whenever I upload a video. And if you're not enjoying yourself, well, I always welcome constructive criticism. And the dislike button's right there. In fact, I welcome all comments. Except spoilers, I guess. Now, where were we? Yes. In the last episode, we just recruited this guy, Tekēhu, who apparently wants to speak with us. So we'll probably do that first. But I then want to have a look around this place, because it looks cool. I don't know what that... Oh. It's that claw. That's... Okay. Talk to Tekēhu, and then we'll have a look around the Water Shaper. What's it called? Water Shaper's Guild. Alright. As you turn to Tekēhu, a shadow passes over your vision. You feel a tug from somewhere deep within his soul. A faint ripple creases the air between you two like a forest of ethereal kelp. We surrender to the sensation. Tekēhu's soul is vibrant and energetic, almost too lively to occupy its mortal shell. There is a bright thread of energy that trails away from him. You instinctively follow it. You stand in a great hall, underwater and cloaked in oppressive shadows. Pillars of coral and bone reach up to support a ceiling that must be hundreds of fathoms away. Chandeliers lit with bioluminescent globes dangle from long ropes, swaying in languid, tentacular motions. At the farthest end of the hall sits Ondra, as tall as a castle keep, and leaning forward in her throne. She has adopted the head of an anglerfish and regards you with its globular stare. Globular stare. Her sickle-shaped jaw opens and closes in a rictus of conflicted emotions.
A life without friction or challenge has left the boy in need of guidance.
Wait. No. What? I definitely turned off voice. I haven't touched the settings since I recorded the last episode. Definitely didn't have voice in that one. Alright, weird. I think it's interesting, I will point out, I think it's interesting that she has the anglerfish head, because I'm pretty sure, does it say here? Said to have fallen in love with the moon, try to draw it, people take tokens. I'm pretty sure it might be under the Umara version, which is Nagati? I think it's Nagati. But I think it's that one says that the Umara see her as having an anglerfish head, but everyone else doesn't. No one else has like a physical manifestation in mind for her. They just, I guess they just see her as the ocean. But she's definitely Nagati here. Anyway, the voice of Ondra pounds at your mind with relentless force.
He thinks himself frail, but my heart beats in his chest. He is stronger than either of you could know.
I mean, I could have done that as well. Probably wouldn't have had the echo effect, but it would have been okay. It's the whole point of the video, I'm just saying. It's fine. Everything is fine. She claps her hands and the vision shatters, flooding the hall with a deluge of awareness as you return to your senses. Regarding you with a warm smile, Tekēhu at first seems oblivious to your momentary detachment. Then his brow furrows with concern. The voice is off. The voice is off, but Ondra apparently doesn't care. Ondra is more powerful than the game settings. Probably why people worship her. Captain, what say? You look you look a little blue about the gills. Ondra just reached out to me. Nagati spoke. To you. Skeptical, Tekēhu cradles his chin and considers. Nagati is a Huana trickster goddess with a humanoid body and the head of an anglerfish who is thought to lure mariners either into or out of trouble at her whim. They often worship her as Ondra, making the Huana the only people that believe Ondra has a physical manifestation. Bam! That's right, I have the capacity to remember details from things I've previously read. Sometimes. To leave her son guessing. This is my tricksome mother through and through. She seems to care about your well-being. What mother doesn't? Pelagina's feathers ruffle as she lets out a faint sigh. You must be special indeed for Nagati to speak with words. For her people, she lays out cryptic stepping stones hidden in omens. Ikera, but send her my fondest wishes. I wanted to ask about Prince Aruhi's interest in the black market. Ikera, what say? Tekēhu folds his arms and gestures for you to continue. Where do you fit in the prince's plan? Aruhi would not have told you the entire story. There is a good reason. Whatever is happening in the gullet, I believe that water shapers are at the center of it. He turns away in disgust. Let me explain. When water shapers are not attending to their duties, they are dispatched into the city. Tekēhu spits into his palm. Concentrating, the small puddle rises to take the form of a tower. Wow, that's gross and impressive. There you go. Nekataka's great sculptures require some maintenance to hold their form. Ah, damn it. He passes his other hand over the miniature, sharpening its edges, adding detail and definition. Unless you are Nagati's chosen, Marihu keeps a tight leash. Closing his palm into a fist, the tower collapses. One evening, I snuck out and followed a group of shapers. I expected to find myself in Serpent's Crown. Maya smirks and folds her arms. To my surprise, they went down to the gullet. Why was this so unexpected? Well, there are no water sculptures in the Ruparu district. The crown only flaunts our power where it can be displayed for foreigners. He smooths back his hair and sighs. At least a better class of foreigners than the type who frequent the gullet. And so you think they were up to something illegal. We are not forbidden from entering the gullet, but it is simply not done. If they have broken the crown's law, I simply want to know how and why. He crosses his arms and aims a petulant look elsewhere. Well, back to my other questions. You have questions, Ikera. I have answers. Tekēhu opens his palm and gestures for you to speak freely. He likes gesturing to get me to keep talking. I mean, sure. The Kahanga royalty seems very taken with you. Between the crown and the guild, Nekataka has high hopes for Nagati's chosen son, I say. Tekēhu smooths back his hair with both hands as he gathers his thoughts. He also keeps smoothing back his hair. If Nagati had not blessed me, I say the goddess touched me more. The goddess touched me for more than enriching one tribe, glorifying one island. Tekēhu bites his thumb and sighs. You give people hope, Tekēhu. If people need hope, they should pray harder, or look to their own grindstone. Oh, it's a bit more. If people need hope, they should pray harder, or look to their own grindstone. He gives you an annoyed look, holding it there for longer than necessary before tossing his hair with a gentle swish. I say there is me, Tekēhu, and there is the Tekēhu others would make like a coconut husk doll. The more I try to be the Tekēhu I know I am, the harder I am constrained. What say? He brings up his gaze to meet yours. You give too much power to the expectations of others. But it is the adoring people who made Tekēhu the savior of the tribes. He shrugs, sighing. Many think I have a duty to the Huana, and I say, I am the only one unconvinced. You're being strangely dismissive of your worth. I only dismiss what others would make me. Akira, I know what I am. Hesitating at first, Tekēhu envelops your hand into his, the scales along his palm both prickly and warm. Just as it seems like he will break away, instead he leans in closer. I know how I seem. We did not have this word conceited before Adrian's landed on the Isles. If Nagati had not touched me, I wonder if anyone would care. Tekēhu seems ready to say more. He stops himself and releases you from his grip. The world around you darkens, and once again you feel an insistent tug for your attention, the pull centering from Tekēhu's soul. Alright, let's go back to Ondra. Once again you find yourself in Ondra's waterlogged hall of power. The tired swaying of bioluminescent chandeliers casts uneven rays of light down on her court.
Poor boy. He has it backward, as usual.
A silky, distant voice asserts itself in your thoughts.
I did not choose him so that he could do great things. I chose him because talent should be fostered toward any end.
Sadness and regret creep into her tone, but something about them rings falsely to your ears.
How fortunate that you are here to set him on the right path. I know you won't disappoint.
You hear a smile in her words. Apologies. I say I never miss an opportunity to talk about myself. The presence withdraws, leaving you unsteady on your feet. Oblivious, Tekēhu offers a broad, showy smile. I had some questions. Where did you live prior to Nekataka? Well, the Kahanga are my tribe, but my people settled on Etau? On Etau. Settled on Etau, an island too modest to deserve the attention of maps. My mortal mother tans boar hides. My father trades in the abundance of pearls and opals Etau is blessed to provide. When I was born, father called me his blue topaz boy. Tekēhu scratches the back of his head and grins. Have any other notable godlike come from Etau? Doubtless, I say. But I am the most precious... Doubtless, I say. But I am the most precious gem of recent history. Godlike are revered as bringers of local change, but only Nagati's chosen is thought to deliver an omen for all Juana at once. Man, Pelagina has disapproved of just about everything this guy has said. Well, your birth must have been a big event. Ekera, high winds stirred the vigor of the seas. 2 huts collapsed because our local storm speaker... 2 huts collapsed before our local storm speaker could shut down the weather. He beams with pride. They say the skies only cleared when I fell into the midwife's basket. Peace had returned to the island. Or so the Mataru predicted. Well, what did you do around the island? Well, I could not be kept from the water, so my father taught me how to dive for pearls and azata snails. Nagati fills my palms with riches on every harvest, I say. Sea snail native to the Deadfire, the Juana used their smooth, egg-shaped shells as currency. Handy. When I came of age to begin a man's pursuits, the Mataru reached out to the Kahanga Queen. Weighing my arrival against the forces that descended on her territory, the Queen could not invite... Weighing my arrival against the forces that descended on her territory, the Queen could not invite Nagati's chosen into the Water Shapers Guild fast enough. In hard times, the endorsement of a goddess is more valuable than currency. Back to my previous questions. Ekera, speak on. Tell me about water shaping, Tekēhu. The art of our ancestors, I say. To bend water to our will is a gift from Mother Nagati to her chosen people. Tekēhu stands tall and grins with pride. Since devastation swept our way of life out to sea, too much of the art has been lost. Periki, founder of the guild, organized the lore of Nagati's talent into a series of postures and meditations we call the 4 forms of water shaping. Excuse me. Oh, wow. Well, what are these forms? Try as we might to embody Nagati's element, our bodies are not water. Ekera, this is the form of grief, a beginner's test. Tekēhu closes his eyes and sweeps out his hands, exhaling sharply. The body's internal water is a force that conquers all. Even the mountain will bow to the stream. The form of hope, I say. Tekēhu crosses one leg before the other and sways on the spot. Water commands its vessel, and the vessel can be shaped as surely as the mountain. The form of metamorphosis, Ekera. Tekēhu opens his eyes, which now resemble polished onyx. His smile is hungry, predatory. He blinks and the effect is gone. The art is a challenge to grasp, difficult to master, and impossible to perfect. Unless you are Nagati's chosen, I say. Well, you said there were 4 forms. It is only by force of habit that I emit the final form. We do not speak of it in the guild. The form of transcendence. Tekēhu closes his eyes and concentrates, holding out his palms. He bites his lower lip and focuses. Finally, he shakes his head and stands at ease once more. Only a story, I say. Even crafty Periki could not commit this ancient form to her scrolls. It was said that our ancestors could shape the very oceans of the Deadfire. This was Nagati's true gift, but we have yet to recover it from the ruins of our past. Well, back to my previous questions. Actually, no, let's be off. Interesting. No, okay. All of you can come. It's fine. Neophyte water shapers. A young Huana holds out his hands as if to catch an incoming missile. He winces in concentration, and an orb of water rises and floats mid-air. Sweat drips down his nose. Tekēhu clears his throat loudly. He flinches, and in that instant the water loses all shape and splashes on the floor. Crestfallen, he sighs and drops his stance. Warua. Damn it, Tekēhu. Why, I almost had it that time. Not even close. If you wanted to achieve the second form, you will need to loosen that posture. Spending a day submerged in the bathhouse always helped me. He smirks. Did you need something? He nods to you and shakes out his arms, readying himself for another try. You seem to be having trouble. I can feel the connection to Ondra, just like Marihu taught me, but there's something missing. Maybe it's my form. Oh, the chanter has stuff. Interesting. Well, any advice to help our friend here with his water shaping, Tekēhu, as opposed to the advice you already just gave him? Remain loose, but not too loose. Confine yourself, but spread out at all times. He nods, passing you a secret smile. Like this? Warua shuffles his feet apart and squeezes his shoulders together, looking to Tekēhu for approval. Perfect. Keep at it, and you'll be teaching me the fourth form in no time. He claps Rauha on the shoulder, upsetting his stance. Suppose I'll give anything a try. He nods to you and resumes practice. All right. Actually, I'll just double check. Yeah, it's pretty good. I did. Alright. That's the Guildmaster. I'm very impressed by this indoor waterfall. It's, You have questions for me? Speak up, I say. Guildmaster Marihu folds her arms and nods. Tell me about the guild. Ekera, my pleasure. Water shaping is a talent bestowed on the Huana by the goddess Nagati. Periki was the first in recent memory to organize the talent into a series of teachable forms. What else would you like to know? Well, where do the water shapers get their power? Our art is the yield of Huana's ancient covenant with the goddess. Our ancestors pledged to protect the luminous Adra, the islands, and the tribes. Nagati gifted us with the strength to keep our promise. So what do water shapers do, exactly? We control tides, prevent storm damage, and keep unwelcome ships at bay. She gives Maya a discomforted look. Remember the tenets of iron. Maya raises a fist to her heart. Pelagina holds up her hand, rubbing the tip of her middle finger against her thumb and nodding. Tekēhu folds his arms and watches carefully. So Pelagina likes the dutiful, but Tekēhu does not like the pro-Rauatai. Remember the battle of Nakaru Atoll. The guildmaster mirrors her gesture before shifting her focus back to you. The Battle of Nakaru Atoll. The Battle of Nakaru Atoll. In 2758 AI, Rauatai encroached on Huana lands and made an enemy of the Wahaki tribe. The bloody conflict came to a head at the Nakaru Atoll, where Rauatai's warships decimated the tribal force. In the aftermath, the Huana crown dispatched water shapers to sink Rauatai's most prized vessel, the Tenets of Iron, as a reprisal and a demonstration of power. Ew. Lately we have experienced an artistic revival of sorts, thanks to our star pupil, Tekēhu. We represent the best of Huana achievement. No small responsibility. Well, back to my other questions. Akira, speak freely. I only had one question, I'm sorry. Farewell. Oh. Guild ruins. This ornate basin makes a high-pitched ringing sound when pressure is applied to the outer rim. Kind of expecting more, but that is okay. Periki's Overlook. Where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? Don't need to go to Serpent's Crown. Gullet, Brass Citadel, Sacred Stair. I guess we go to the Gullet. Go to the Gullet. That's where we're supposed to be investigating anyway. I think. Travel to the Gullet. Yep. Songo. Trade Secret. Investigate the situation in Pokokahara. Oh, I did that, yes. Hazanui in the Brass Citadel, yes. All right, need to do that as well. Okay, go to the Gullet first. Oh, more imps. An abandoned dog? Oh. Rasper. Come on. While Rasper has followed you around, enemy attacks against you. While Rasper is following you around, enemy attacks against you are more likely to graze, and your party is more effective with healing spells and potions. Oh. Alright. So I've currently already got the... Oh, wait. So that's only for me, and then the party-wide effect is healing. No, I'll keep the dexterity and the party-wide effect. But I always appreciate having more pets. To the gullet! I think we will end once we get here, unless something comes up immediately. This will probably be where we end the episode. Yes? No? Oh! 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 Alright, gonna go a bit longer. You leave the bustle of the crowds behind and make your way along the winding path into the gullet. For a time, the path ascends the mountain. Even so, the cramped walls and run-down Juana buildings close in around you, obscuring your view. You come to a dark passage cutting through the mountain, just wide enough to accommodate a wagon. The path here descends steadily into the rock face. After a lengthy journey through the dimly lit tunnel, you come to the gates of the gullet. The stench hits you first, a foul mixture of rot, stale air, and bodily odors. You notice a guardsman pushing a cart heaped high with mouldering food, which must account for some of the smell. Ahead, the homes of the gullet emerge as a collection of lights amidst the darkness. You hear the rush of water below, and a frigid breeze wafts up from the unseen depths like an exhalation. Please, I did nothing! You see a man being dragged along a rickety boardwalk towards a rusty cage that swings over the abyss. He strains against the guard's grip. The guards deliver a savage backhand. Enough! Or do you wish to consign her to the old city as well? The warrior casts a meaningful glance at a woman standing a short distance away. Let him go! Let him go! She screams at the guards, but she doesn't dare approach. The man notices her. His face lights up with shame. Bia, I'm sorry. Your tongue flops like a dying fish. I tire of its stink. Lower him down. The guard drags the Roparu into a metal cage and locks him inside. He shouts and rattles the bars as it is lowered over the edge of the platform. Eventually, his screams are lost to the depths. My Tangaloa devour your souls, you cold-blooded eels! Well, that was a thing. Probably going to want to go talk to her. What crime could have committed to deserve such a fate? Be careful, the gullet is no place for outsiders. Well, alrighty then. Man, stuff's happening in the gullet. And that's what we'll deal with next episode. For now, as I said at the beginning, if you have enjoyed watching this, then liking, sharing, and subscribing are wonderful ways to help the channel. If you subscribe and you click the little bell, you'll get a notification when I make new videos. And if you haven't enjoyed it, the dislike button's there. As always, constructive criticism, comments of all form except spoilers. It's all good. It's all welcome. But until then, I've been SammyP. I hope you join me for episode 27, and we're going to explore the gullet. Explore? Explore the gullet.